Today I'm going to be drinking Shirley white wine, Sauvignon Blanc. Get some more. I'm also celebrating 5 years of sobriety this year. And so what better way to celebrate than with others and to actually launch a non-alcoholic bar. So cheers to that. Cheers to 5 years. Hi, my name is Dre Thomas, and I'm building a non-alcoholic bar in Charlotte called Heartbutter. So this week, we had our debut pop-up, something that I've been planning for a long time. And I'm the kind of person who gets very, very anxious when the event happens. Like, I love the planning, I love the marketing, I love the strategy, I love putting together brand and ideas and things like that. But when it comes to the day of the event, I do not want to be involved. So luckily, my brother, shout out to him, flew out from New York to support, and he did a phenomenal job with just making sure the operations side of everything worked out. Also, my husband supported in a way, but it was so good. So I am going to just kind of walk through some of the highlights, some of the lowlights, and what we have coming down the pipeline this summer in Charlotte. If you are new here, we will be hosting pop-ups throughout the year, throughout the summer, or maybe the rest of the year. We'll see how it goes. And that is going to be how we build out this brick and mortar bar here in Charlotte. So stick around. So one of the things we got to do at the pop-up, I really wanted to hear from everyone, every guest, and kind of share their thoughts and insights from tasting the soft cocktails. And so I printed out these little tasting card notes. Everyone got one as they entered into the event. And after every soft cocktail, I encouraged everyone to share their early notes. And so I actually have a lot here, but I have a few standouts that really made me laugh when I came home and I got to read through them. So as I mentioned, we tasted 2 soft cocktails. One was a blackberry coconut rum led soft cocktail, and the other one was a tequila led soft cocktail. And so folks had their preferences and they were going to vote on which one they prefer. I didn't even have to look at these cards because by the gasps, by the cheers, literally by the laughter and just giant smiles, I knew that the second soft cocktail was the winner. Everyone loved that. But everyone also really liked the first one too, but we had to choose a winner, and clearly that one was gonna win. I knew it just from hearing everybody. But here are some of the notes, okay? So this was really funny but the original card had, your initial thoughts, would you order it again? And then it had 5 stars you can color in or check off how many stars you would rate that soft cocktail. Why did somebody draw extra stars? Because that's how much they like to drink. There's another one that drew extra stars too. So that was just so funny to me. And then you can also, one of the questions was, would I order this again? And then they put yes, 100%. This one just put exclamation marks in the yes box. This one put yes, 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 yes. Wait, what's the other one? This one put hell yes. So clearly the second soft cocktail won. But the first one, in my opinion, I think the first one was much better. But it's just really cool to kind of see the different flavor profiles that was in the room, what people lean towards mostly. And I truly think that a lot of people actually were like, are you sure it's not alcoholic? So that was really cool to hear that, because it just tasted so elevated and sophisticated and complex. It was just so delicious. We want to declare a winner. Soft cocktail number 2 was the winner. So in addition to the tasting cards at the end of the event, I encouraged everyone to take our survey. I know it's not sexy to take a survey, but I wanted people to do it, and everyone was so awesome and so supportive. We carved out about 10 minutes post-event where everyone just sat down and on their phones, obviously, and took a survey. And so, like every survey, there's always a final question, like, is there anything else you want to tell us, right? And I got some good stuff on here, which is just so good and validating. But anyway, so this one really stood out to me. This was all anonymous. I don't know who wrote this, but I really do appreciate it. So the question was, is there anything else you'd like to share? Which was optional to respond to. What felt most special about my time at Heartbutter Bar tonight was how intimate and relaxed the atmosphere was. It was a perfect environment to connect with new people, network naturally, and enjoy a variety of delicious non-alcoholic beverages, and socialize without the typical bar scene. The overall vibe was welcoming, laid back, and refreshing, making it a truly enjoyable experience. So I'm like, oh my God, like, first of all, people often skip this last part, but the fact that they took their time to actually write a long or a few sentences about their experience was just so helpful. And even the shorter ones, like one of them said, the environment and the host sharing her experiences and motivation. So one thing that I did, like, I did not just want to serve a drink. I always want to tell a story about why I'm choosing this drink, why I chose these flavors, and what it reminds me of. You know, as I mentioned previously, I have a hard time sharing flavor profiles, so I like to connect a story. And so I appreciate everyone for filling this out. I'm still going through a lot of the feedback. One of the responses was just in all caps, the vibes, which was nice. It was everything in all exclamation points. I absolutely love both of the drinks. The presentation was amazing, and I'm looking forward to more pop-up events. So yes, it was really cool to kind of hear all that. It was very validating, of course, you know, all the hard work, all the drama that went into bringing this event to life. It was just really good to see that it went well, and I'm super excited about our future pop-ups. So let's get into the drama. Okay, so obviously the heart and soul of a bar is the drinks, right? So I ordered the spirits like a month, like right at the start of June for this event. And I was tracking every single day, super, like watching it all the time. My first shipment, well, the drinks were supposed to get here, the spirits were supposed to get here on June 13th, plenty of time for the event. It got delayed, and I finally reached out, and the package was damaged. So the carrier told me to respond to customer service to order a new shipment. And so I did. They asked if I wanted a refund or a replacement, and I asked for a replacement as long as it got here by June 25th. So they assured me that it would. It did not. I think I was like waiting all week of the event, and my husband was like, oh, it's gonna get here, just wait, because he's so positive, which doesn't work. But anyway, so it was delayed. So Wednesday afternoon, I called it. I'm like, it's not gonna come. You know, what are we gonna do? Luckily, there is a store here in Charlotte in the Ballantyne area. I think it's called Total Wine & Co. or something like that, that sells non-alcoholic spirits. So me and my mom, my brother, and my son, we all went to that store, and I was really so surprised and shocked by how much they had to offer. Like, I'm so glad this actually happened, because now I know that store exists, and I no longer have to order online. I can just go down there and pick things up. So we got all the spirits for the drinks. It worked out perfectly, and the drinks were amazing, obviously. So it was just a little bump. It was really a time for me to learn how to pivot in real time and not just freak out, even though I did freak out, but it all turned out for the best. But, you know, there's always gonna be bumps in the road. So it's just really figuring out how to keep pushing and keep moving forward, and finding other avenues to get the job done. And we did, as you can see. So yeah, it was a lot of learning experiences. I still have yet to do a post-mortem about the actual event, what took place during the night, that I can kind of tighten up, because I'm just so excited. So we also had a Polaroid camera there because I love Polaroids, and I had some really good shots. But look at this one. I think her name was Terry. I hope I was okay to share this. She was really cool. And it's just really cool to like meet these people in real life. I've spoken to a lot of folks on TikTok or Instagram, some way digitally, but it was good to actually meet people in real life. Look how cute this one turned out. I took this one. So there's like loads of them here. Did you eat all your food?
And then I just eat bread and yeah.
What I want to do with these Polaroids, I have like so many. I want to actually frame these and hang them in my office here, and just have it as my first event photos and just in memory of, right? The drinks was obviously the highlight, the vibes, the people, the connection, the questions, the stories. But one thing I wanted to do, I saw on Pinterest months ago, was a butter board, you know, because heart butter. And so him and I like looked at recipes online, and he made it. My brother, it was so good. So like, here's a picture. And people loved it. Like, I loved it. People were taking cups of it home. I think it was like the highlight of the food portion, these butter boards. So we had a sweet butter and then a savory one. And so I'm just so glad that worked out. I'm so glad the food worked out, you know, and obviously like they're not the main character. The food's not the main character of the event, but people need to eat. And I'm just so glad we were able to figure out how to provide that for folks. And so I'm glad that it turned out so good. So this tastes like when I went to Catalina Islands in 2018 in California. And it was the first time I went with my now husband. And we had fish tacos on a pier. It just reminds me of that for some reason. Yummy tummy. So Shirley White, I recommend it. And on that note, I'm excited to share that our July event is going to be a wine night. So we already had the soft cocktail event. Our next event is going to be a wine focused event. I know so many people drink wine, and there are so many great non-alcoholic wine options out there. And I'm excited to share that with you all so you can taste and see what kind of non-alcoholic wines are available. So stay tuned for that. It's happening in July. And unfortunately, but also fortunately, it's going to be a women's only event, a girls' night out, if you will. And so I'm excited for you all to come. I've been planning this one ever since I hit publish from my last one. And honestly, the whole time at the pop-up yesterday, I was only thinking about the next event, which is this wine night. So it's going to be really good. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for following along. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for buying tickets. Thank you for inviting friends. Thank you for posting online and sharing the Heartbutter Bar story. I'm so excited to continue on this journey to meet everyone. You know, big, huge shout out to Donnell, who made these soft cocktails, who put his heart and soul in all of these drinks. You know, without him, we would have no drinks. So I really appreciate working with him. It's been really great collaboration. Shout out to our photographer who took great photos and video as well. And just to everyone who showed up, who made it after work, who drove from like Concord, I think someone came from, who had a really busy day with all the kids and everything we had to take care of. You took time out of your day to come to our pop-up, and I'll never forget it. And I'm excited to continue to host these throughout the summer and bring to life Charlotte's first dedicated non-alcoholic bar, fall of 2027. See y'all then. Cheers.
A big giant octopus. So I got something. And the big giant octopus